Hello everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games, back with more of my Earthborne Ranger campaign through Legacy of the Ancestors expansion. So, when last I left, I was stuck down in the branching artery. I was trying to go to Orland's vault to get the door unlocker. So I could come down the terminal artery over here and come down to down this side because I'm trying to get to the cage. Unfortunately, I came to a realization when I was looking through the map. If I come down this side, because it's got the door locker to get down here, I get stuck by an overgrown passage. Well, if I had the trick to get through an overgrown passage, I could come down this way without getting the door locker. But oh wait, I got a locked passage that way. So I am going to have to get both. So I think what I need to do is, first things first, I need to prioritize getting up here to the vault so I can take care of that and get my door locker. Then I think I need to come down here because they said that for the lock pass or the overgrown passage, you have to go find a plant doctor or somebody that specializes in plants or fungus or something like that, and said you'd be able to find them where there is the most stuff. So that seems to indicate that the mycelial conclave would be the best guess. So my goal is to get up here, take care of the door, artisanal door unlocker, and then come down here to start working on whatever I need to do to clear out the overgrown passages. We'll see if I can do all that in one day. I'm starting to feel like I'm running low on time, so I'm going to probably try to work my way through as fast as possible and go from there. So, all right, that's where I'm at. Before I get to the setup, I'm going to do my opening hand. Let's give it one last shuffle. All right, 6 cards. Vaulting Rod, Expedition Logbook, Pakodo, Bold, Cordo's Instinct, and a Lambent's Rig. Okay, I don't hate any of those, really. Vaulting Rod lets me ignore the obstacles and trigger my ability. Logbook, I think I'm going to pitch the logbook. I like having Pakodo out. Bold, definitely, because I got to move fast. Lambent's Rig wouldn't be terrible just because I keep running into things that that want illumination. Cordo's Instinct, I think I'm going to pitch that as well, just because I don't know what I need. So I will hold on to the rig and draw 2 more. A Dear Friend and Stout-Hearted Guardian. Oh, beautiful. Let's start how Stout-Hearted Guardian will allow me to do my shenanigans with my fatigue stack. All right, we are on day 14. We are still on the Glitter Rain weather. And we are at the branching artery and arrival setup. Search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. What do we got for a feature? You are a being. You are a being. You are a being. Another being. My goodness. Another being. Wow. Did I not shuffle these or something? What the heck? All beings. No, these are all shuffled up. They're just really weird. There we go. Overgrown Vestiges. Oops. So Overgrown Vestiges is a 1 presence feature trail, flora, and obstacle. It has 2 health, 6 progress threshold, and it is an obstacle. And it says if this feature is illuminated, it loses obstacle and gains the following test. Awareness plus exploration to discover something useful in the overgrowth, to search your ranger deck for a gear and add it to your hand. Well, maybe it's good I kept that Lambent's Rig, because that might be handy. All right, so looking at the branching artery, 2 presents, 3 per ranger, threshold on it. Okay. So because of that obstacle, I think I'm going to take a turn to just get set up here. Oh, start of the round, I got to draw a path card. Always forget that. Decrepit station platform. Okay, that's the one that allows me to go up, which I don't care about. It's a 0 presence also, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to read it. Alright, so 2. We're going to get the Stout-Hearted Guardian attached to me. 2 spirit. We are going to spend 1 fitness to get a vaulting rod on there. Comes in with 2 vaults. I will spend 1 for a Lambent's rig, which comes in with 3 flashes. I will exhaust myself and we'll spend a fitness just to put a charge on here. You know what? Let us try to remember my ranger training. 1-to-1. 0, I succeed, so I can look at 1 card. Lambent's rig, I can put it on the top or bottom. I will put it on the bottom and then draw a card. Compassionate. Alright, now though, we got Yellow Sun challenge effects. Add 1 runoff to this card, and each ranger suffers 1 fatigue. Right here. If along the way is not illuminated, which it is not, you lose your way, discard 2 progress from the location. If you cannot, suffer 1 fatigue. Right, and here, if this feature is illuminated, it is not. And that is it. So we will end our turn. Ready up. Draw a card into a gauze blade. And now we draw a new encounter card. It is a wild scuttlebus. This is a new one. So 129. Looks kind of like Catbus from My Neighbor Totoro. You hear a skittering, scuttling sound as if hundreds of claws were scraping rock. You peer down the transit tunnel just in time to see a massive being burst out of the shadows and lunge at you. At first, you think it's some sort of gargantuan spindle scuttler, but as you duck out of the way, you see that what first appeared to be a single bulbous reflective eye is actually a rounded glass viewport embedded in the top of the creature's head. The smaller glass portals and hatchways embedded in its chitinous carapace confirm your suspicion. This being used to be some sort of living transit system for the Estians. Now, of course, it just wants to eat you. Record encountered the scuttlebus on the campaign tracker. Okay, let me record that real quick. Encountered the scuttlebus. All right, so I have recorded that. Let's see, if you have staged the hunt, which I have not, go to 129.1. Otherwise, if you are on the expedition's path, which I am, go to 129.2. The clacking mandibles and fang-filled maw bite through a metal brace right above your head. You raise your arms to ward off the steel splinters, and as you do, you catch a glimpse of a ragged gray cloak flapping from between its teeth. With a sinking heart, you realize you've likely discovered the fate of at least one member of the expedition. Unfortunately, given how voracious this scuttlebus seems, you doubt you'll be able to find out anything more. Alright, so let's look at the scuttlebus. It is a 4 presence, 5 per ranger, 5 per ranger damage, 6 per ranger progress threshold, and it's got a variety of tests on it. All right, that's gonna slow me down quite a lot. Okay, well, My plan was to illuminate this, then jump and make progress. Unfortunately, now I've got that thing to deal with. I can't avoid it because it's a 4 presence. That's just too big. So I have to try to connect with it. Oof, this is definitely going to slow me down. I think long term it's going to be better if I spend 2 to get Pakoto the ferret out. And then I'm going to use a dear friend and my last remaining spirit energy to try to connect to him 2 to 1. -1, I succeed with 1 progress. Right. Let's see here. Yellow sun, so I get fatigued. That fatigues me. What happens here? The scuttlebutt scampers away. Move this being along the way. Well, it is already along the way. And this, it's not illuminated, so. Alright, let us spend this and an awareness. We will put a charge on our vaulting rod and heal a fatigue. Quiet. Alright, let's spend 2 fitness to get quiet out. And then we're going to use Pakoto to put 2 progress over on that being. Well, let's hope I don't do another sun. I'm going to try to remember my ranger training. +1, and it's a sun again. My goodness. Alright, my sketchbook and an insightful. I don't have the room for sketchbooks, so I am going to put both of these down at the bottom. And I get another vaulting rod. So now we get another one here, which fatigues me. Then that fatigues me. And then this, move it along the way, and that's not illuminated. So, ugh. Okay, that's my turn. Can't do a lot else with it, so. Set up, draw a card, follow in footsteps. That is an interesting item. Right. Oh, gotta shuffle this up. Well, so much for moving quick on this one, because, whoo boy. All right, we got a rift in the artery. So there's a feature, a structure, and a ruin. And let's read about you. As you proceed along the main passageway, you notice a patch of deeper darkness along the walls. As you look closer, you see that the recent tremors have torn apart the carbon forged panels. Behind the rubble, you can see some sort of smaller passage heading off in another direction. You're not sure where it leads, but perhaps a maintenance tunnel. It might be a maintenance tunnel. Perhaps it could be used as a shortcut along your way to other locations. But do you want to leave the planned route and explore it? Clear the rift in the artery with progress to explore routes into distant locations. So, it is a 2 presence, 8 harm, 3 per ranger progress threshold, and says untraversable. That's a keyword I am not familiar with. Let's look real quick. Untraversable. You cannot add progress to a card with untraversal keyword using the traverse common test. Okay. While your ranger token is on this feature, ignore its untraversable keyword, and you can interact only with path cards that are in the same area as this feature. And then a spirit plus icon to venture into the rift to move your ranger token to this feature. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. I don't know. I'm getting really bogged down here. Oh, Pakoto's up too. I'm getting really bogged down here. I am tempted to try to sneak in there and see what that gives me. So let's do it. We are going to do the spirit test. Since there is no target on it, it is a target of 1, so I'm a 3 versus a 1. I succeed, so my ranger token is on it. Blue Mountain. What happens with the Blue Mountain? For the remainder of this test, all areas are considered illuminated. Right? What is here on the mission? If you are at Arlen's Vault, I am not. If this feature is illuminated, the way becomes clear. Add 1 progress to it. Okay. What does this say? The scuttlebus draw nears. Move this being within reach. It fatigues you. Oh, man. Yeah, my day is going to be short, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4. My deck is probably about halfway gone now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, my deck is a third gone. I have only 1/3 of my deck left. My deck is 2/3 of the way gone already. And this is what, my 4th turn? Oh, do not like. All right, so now that is no longer untraversable. So I am going to try to traverse it. We're going to use a bold and my 2... fitness energy. I'm going to really hope that this is one of those cards that allows me to directly travel after I complete it. +1, I succeed with a progress of 5. So I clear it. Before I do the test, let's see what happens when I clear it. Clear. The tunnel led far away from the main passages of the Arcology. You find yourself climbing up and down sharp inclines, weaving between towering columns that hum with concealed energies, and squeezing through ventilation shafts that vent gusts of freezing air. Eventually, however, you emerge into a network of vents. These could be used to get to nearby locations very quickly. You may immediately proceed with the travel phase of the round, thank goodness, even if there are ready cards with the obstacle keyword in play. Also, awesome. If you do, you can travel to any location within 2 paths. The standard rules for lock still apply. Use the terrain type of the last path you crossed. If you choose to travel this way, discard the current challenge card and do not resolve the remainder of this test. If you chose not to travel, discard Rift in the Artery and resolve the remainder of the test as normal. Okay. I'm gonna do that, because, I'm in a bad shape. Alright, I can go up to 2 locations away. However, I am only going to do 1 location. I am just going to come up here to Orland's Vault, and looks like I will be going through the ancient ruins to get there. So, I will get that set up and be right back. Alright, we are set up with Orland's Vault. Although the Arcology's designers clearly had worked to blend form and function in their architecture, the hallways you find yourself in have a markedly utilitarian cast. Rust-frozen grav lifters dangle from low ceilings, and your footsteps echo off the bare metal floor. In places, the walls have collapsed in piles of rubble, and in other chambers you catch the musty whiff of the strange fungi that infest these depths. Even so, you can tell these were once workshops and manufacturing centers. It seems that much of what was created down here was done through automation, in stark contrast to the residents of the valley today, who work by hand and rely only on their craft. Among the detritus and debris, you catch the glint of metal and carbon-forged alloy beneath mounds of rocks and mushrooms. Perhaps you might find something useful if you search here. If you traveled here from Branching Artery, which I did, go to this. As you cross the threshold into the destination, a massive door slams shut behind you. Try as you might, you're unable to open it back up. You'll have to restore power to the door in order to descend via that same passage. Search the general set for a locked passage and put it into play. Alright, so locked passage basically just blocks us. We can't open it until we get to the door opener, which I just remembered. Not only, even if I get it here, I still have to camp to equip it into my stuff. Okay, well, we're definitely not going as far today as I was hoping we would. Anyway. Alright, so we got everything set up here, and real quick, the assembly required now that we're at Orland's Vault. The mission gains the following test: focus plus icon to assemble the device to add 1 progress to this mission, and if my effort was 3 or more, discard 1 error, and I need 2 progress on that. Okay. So now on arrival, lead ranger draw a path card. I do. Oh, we have a moment of the path. Ancient remains. You come across the mostly disintegrated skeletal remains of what must have been one of the Estians, covered in centuries of fine rock dust. You wonder what fate befell them here. You can choose to pay your respect, spirit plus connection 2 to honor the Estian spirits to soothe 1 fatigue for every 2 effort. But I have no spirit, so I cannot do that. So I must choose leave them be. Discard 1 random card from your hand. Alright, let's see, what are we discarding? We're discarding our gauze blade. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Flip this over, taking a look at Orland's Vault. It is a location, trail, and ruin. 1 presence, 3 per ranger progress threshold, and has a test, focus plus explore 2, to tinker with the ancient Estian equipments to add 1 unique token to an equipped tech for every 2 effort. Right, and we are now on the refresh phase. So, put our energy back, we'd ready our cards, but we don't have any. We've got a logbook. Alright, top of the round, draw a new card. We have Humming Circuits. It comes in with 2 powered, and the machine gains powered 1, machine gains illumination, and there is a focus test on it. The important thing to me is it is a progress or a presence 0, so it will not fatigue me to do this mission test. Alright, my turn. We are going to do that. Focus. Actually, before we do that, we're going to exhaust. We will spend 1 awareness, put a charge there, recover fatigue. We are now going to do this test. I'm going to commit my 1 focus and follow in footsteps for 2 of the icons, so I am a 3 versus a 1. 0, I succeed, so I get to put 1 progress on here. And let's see here. We get fatigued again. Nothing in the missions, nothing here. Here, powered 1. Yes, add 1 power to the machine with the least power. So that is, and I forgot to put the power on there anyway, so that is it because it is the only machine out there. Alright, let's try to connect with Pakoto, just in case something comes up where I need to connect with something. -1, I succeed with 2 effort. Blue Mountain, everything is illuminated. If you are at Orland's Vault, which I am, add 1 error to this card unless you discard 1 awareness energy. I think I'll discard 1 awareness energy. Alright, that is my turn. No, you know what? I was going to put out the expedition log, but that is a... Actually, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to use the vaulting rod, Wonders of the Valley, expedition logbook, and both my fitness energy to try to travel here. So if I get enough progress on it, as soon as hopefully I get the second one on there, I can just get out of here and camp. Alright. -1, I succeed with 4 effort. All right, this fatigues me 1, and now we flip this over. And this guy gains another power. All right, that is my turn. I'm going to rest. I am not going to travel, so now we're in the refresh phase. Draw a card, not the icons I need, unfortunately. New path card. We have a captive leech. It is a 1 threshold, 3 harm, 5 progress, comes in with 1 power. All right, my turn. We are going to exhaust, spend 1 fitness, put a token on my vaulting rod, recover fatigue. Still not the card that I want. All right, we are going to have Quiet attack the captive leech. He will do 3 damage to the leech and take 1 damage in return because that is the presence value of the leech. I guess we're going to try this test 1-to-1. I don't have any of those icons to commit. -1, I fail. Red crest, nothing with a red crest on here. Nothing I can do. I don't want to necessarily... Well, no, this doesn't... Oh yeah, that doesn't fatigue me anymore, so... Yeah, sure, let's try to connect with Pakoto. I don't know. 3-to-1. +1. I succeed with 4, so I'm up to 6. Blue Mountain. Oh, I will discard an awareness so I don't gain a mistake on there. And we will end our turn. Into the not going to travel, so once again into the refresh phase. Draw a card, Gauze Blade. That is the icons I need. Now we get this. We have an Overgrown Vestiges. It is an obstacle, but I don't really care. Alright, first things first, let us exhaust our Vaulting Rod and spend a charge to exhaust this obstacle. We're now going to exhaust ourselves, spend 1 fitness, put a charge on that, and cover that. Alright, we are now going to commit Gauze Blade and our 1 focus energy to be a 3 versus a 1. I succeed, so we go up to 2. And there are now 1 + 1 per ranger progress on here. So let me read the mission first. Read an entry based on how many errors on the assembly are required. 0-1. You weld the final adapter into place, and as the last tendril of smoke clears, you look over your work, filled with pride. Lun would be impressed. You fulfill your promise and repaired his custom-made door opener. You might even go so far as to say that you've even improved on it a bit. Gain the Lun's door opener reward. Each ranger may search their deck or hand for a card to swap 1 copy of Lun's door opener reward. This counts as swapping reward. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can get it immediately. Okay. Let's see here. Where is it? Logbook. Nope, not there. There we go. One's door opener. All right, so Lund's door opener here. One focused gear and tech takes up one slot. Comes in with 4 cells. Has a setup ability and says exhaust. Use 1 cell. When you would interact with a machine, commit 2 effort. Focus plus triangle icon and use 1 cell to interface with the device to add 1 unique token to a machine for every 2 effort. Okay, so I am going to get a card in my deck or hand. I am going to choose Insightful to get that out. Okay. Now that you have opened the locked passage, you'll be able to reach new areas within the Arcology. Complete the assembly required mission and write repaired an invention. All right, let me go do that real quick. Completed that. Notable events. We repaired an invention. Repaired an invention. Okay. Obviously, I won't be able to... So I get to swap this in my hand. I won't be able to... play that this turn because it requires a focus, so... Alright, I am going to end my turn. Yeah, I don't want to... Well, there's really nothing bad that would happen to me, is there? No. Okay. And you are, I assume, a machine. Yep, because that matters. Alright, yeah, we're just going to end our turn. Ready up, refresh, draw a card. Sill's sketchbook. Ready this. Humming circuits. Okay, again, 0 presence, so doesn't bother me. Oops, this is there. Alright, I am going to spend 1 focus to get my door opener in here. Comes in with 4, and it is also only 1 slot, so I am good there. We're going to exhaust ourselves and use an awareness. We will put 1 on our vaulting rod. Get my fatigue. Okay, Cordo's instinct. We will then use this guy to exhaust you. Alright, we are going to try to do a traverse test on this. We are going to exhaust this and spend a charge. So that gives us 2 additional effort to this. Oh, I didn't put my other energy back. So, oh no, I didn't put my other fitness energy back. That's fine. We are going to spend our 2 fitness. We're going to use rebreather for 2 other icons. So that's 4, 6. So 6 versus 0. 0, that succeeds. So 158. All right. After a thorough examination of the doorway, you string a connection from Lund's door opening device to the socket. At first, nothing happens, but then you hear a loud thunk as the mechanisms behind the massive door spring to life. Then, with a grinding squeal that sets your teeth on edge, the portal slowly opens, revealing a darkened passageway beyond, leading you deeper into the Arcology ruin. You can travel from this location along routes locked by the locked icon Passage. Discard all progress from Locked Passage and attach it face down to the current location. As a reminder, when you travel, return Locked Passage to the general set. All right. Let's see here. That is a Blue Mountain effect. There are no Blue Mountain effects on the table that are active. I end my turn. I travel, and I am going to travel back to the branching artery, and I am going to choose to camp so I can tweak my deck a little bit. And then I guess next day I'm going to try to come down to the conclave and then come up to the terminal artery and go down. So, all right, well, that was day 14. Didn't get as much done as I was hoping, but still made good progress. Got the door opener and was able to move on and camp. All right. Yeah, so that is this one. I guess I will be back again soon with day 16, and hopefully I can find my way down before everything falls apart down here. As always, if you made it to the end, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I am probably going to be pretty focused on Earthborne Rangers. I want to try to get as far in this as I can before Con of the North, which is Valentine's Day weekend up in Minneapolis, which I am going to go to the Incandescent Sky multiplayer event there. Once that's done, probably space out the Earthborne Rangers a little bit and get some more Marvel Champions in. Probably at this point, I won't do any Arkham until Chapter 2 comes out. Once Chapter 2 comes out, I think I'm going to be doing some playthroughs of the core set stuff, the core set Investigators, the core set mini campaign, and get a feel for the new chapter of Arkham Horror. So, if you like what you see or you want to see some of the future stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next one, folks. Have a great evening.